Doug, Nathan, Steven, we were bad last week. Steven went 1-1, right, Steven? Because you had the under on the total. Nathan, you and I went over on the total. Wasn't close to going over. And we all gave the points with Ohio State. And they did not cover. They were 17.5-point favorites, and they won by 11. The closest thing I had to being right was I said it would be a close game, and then Ohio State would pull away, which was kind of right. The score was just 1/3 as many points as I thought it would be. And when they pulled away, it was just with 1 7-minute drive. It wasn't with multiple touchdowns late in the game. We also on the site did some prop bets. I was wrong because I did Michael Mayer over like 67.5 receiving yards. Ohio State held him under that. Steven was wrong because he had 3.5 touchdown passes for CJ Stroud, and we know how that game went. Nathan was right because I think it was 227.5 passing yards for Tyler Buckner for Notre Dame, and they really did hold him down. You really felt pretty confident about that Tyler Buckner back going in, right, Nathan?
Well,
maybe not after the first play.
Until they had a 50-yard pass on the first play. And they really, even during that game, like they were getting enough of those chunk passes that I thought, ooh, that's going to cost me here. But no, it held up.
So now we'll make our picks. We do those other things separately. On this show, we just do our picks against the spread and on the over-unders. I will say I was trying to look for comparisons for this game in the Ryan Day era. A team like Arkansas State. So to me, that's like, so it's a non-Power 5 team in the non-conference, which is a very baseline comparison. 2019 Florida Atlantic. I think Florida Atlantic is better. Like, I don't think that's a great comparison.
Yeah,
Florida Atlantic
player.
They won. Yeah, they had that Harrison Bryant guy who plays for the Browns now. And they won their conference that year. And like, that's Lane Kiffin and stuff. So that's not quite Arkansas State. Ohio State in that opener in 2019 won 45-21. But I think Florida Atlantic is pretty substantially better than Arkansas State. So I don't think that's a great comparison. Miami, Ohio in 2019, I think might be the best comparison in the Day era. Miami, Ohio went on to be 6-2 in the MAC. They were 8-6 overall, made a bowl game, and Ohio State beat them 76-5 after Miami of Ohio, I think, scored first. So that's similar. Last year, it's Tulsa. But again, we sort of covered that. That's like hurt CJ, and then it's Akron, and that's no CJ. So like in terms of where Ohio State is as a team compared to where they were as a team as these other games, when they've played under Ryan Day, a group of 5 team, I do feel like Miami of Ohio is sort of like the only comparison. Because the point is Miami of Ohio is pretty good, right? Mm-hmm. But clearly he wasn't going to hang with Ohio State, and it was 76-5. So when we think, Nathan, about the idea of a 68.5 over under, right? That's the total. Will they score combined more or fewer points than 68.5? And Ohio State's a 44.5-point favorite. What's your score? And then we'll figure out which side you're picking with those.
You want my total first?
No, just make your pick because it's not a betting show. Just make your pick and then we'll know, okay, well, then you're this and this.
So I'm saying Ohio State 49, Arkansas State 10. I think that Arkansas State is a team that has enough of that, like I said, Power 5 legitimate talent that it can move the ball a little bit. It's just that your margin for error is so small, and to expect them to finish a lot of drives against Ohio State, especially what we saw from that defense the first week, is probably asking a lot. And I think the offense gets a little bit more on track this week, whether Jackson Smith-Njigba plays or not.
What was your Ohio State number again?
49.
So you will take the points with Arkansas State.
Taking the points with Arkansas State, not by any means thinking that they're going to make this a game, but just that I think that spread might just be a little bit too high. And I'm also taking the under.
Okay. All right, Steven, what do you got?
I'm glad you brought up the Miami stuff because I was going to get into that when I gave you my picks. Ohio State's had 2 70-point games in the Day era, and they both came in that season. One was against Miami, Ohio, as you mentioned, and the other one was against Maryland. The hard thing is, I guess it's he was the head coach for the first 3 games in 2018, and they scored 77 against Oregon State. It's on his record. I've had a lot of problems with that. Like, it's on his head coaching record. When you say Ryan Day has this many wins, those 3 count. So I go back and forth on whether to count it, but just I'm not disagreeing with you. I know. Yes.
77 points the first time Ryan Day was ever a head coach.
Yeah. So, but okay, fine. We'll give him that 3rd one then, since they're going to put on his record. The point is, he hasn't had one since 2019. I think this is the perfect game to try to do it. And it's a combination of one, the offense might just click a little better because they're more talented than Arkansas State is. But then also, this Jim Knowles defense is designed to get turnovers. and they didn't have any last week. I think he might dial up some stuff to get some turnovers. So maybe the defense contributes to why some of those points get put on the board too, whether it's pick sixes or scooping stores, or they're just setting up the offense in prime field position on Arkansas State's 37-yard line, and it's a one-play drive. So I said 70-7.
70-7. So that is over, and that is OSU minus 44.5. So that's completely opposite of Nathan. Yeah. I don't know what to think. I probably would stay away from this, especially after going 0 for 2 last week.
Definitely would stay
on Ohio State. I'm going to go. It's all right. Some of it's desire. Some of it's what Ryan Day wants this offense to do, how long he wants to keep guys in the game. Does he want to get Trevion Henderson going, which I think is very possible? Does he want to get the passing game going? I don't know. I said 52-6, which is a way for me to give the points barely. So I'll give the 44.5. I feel better about that side slightly. But I'm also going to go under with that 52.5. So I'm under the 68.5 pretty easily. So I'm split on you guys. I'm with Nathan on the under, but I'm with Steven on I'll take Ohio State minus the point. So Nathan 49-10, me 52-6, Steven 70-7. Those are our picks.